Hi Scrappy friends, it's Kim back and I am starting to create with this beautiful pumpkin spice. And so I have some things on my table. I've done just a little prep work. Actually, I started working on this and I thought, no, you know what, stop, record it, and do a process video. So I have one of each of the pattern papers from Pumpkin Spice Collection out on my table today. Now, I've not really decided which patterns. I think I'll use some of each, but I've not decided exactly how it's going to go. I have out the sticker sheet, and I have both of the stamp sets. Wrong stamp set. I may or may not use the stamp sets, not sure. I am using the stamp of the month because I want to use this title, and I'll use that as a title on my page. I have Harbor ink out so far. I probably will end up using papaya, possibly paprika. And I will be using these two PML cards along with some of the wood stickers. So those things are just going to be around my table. And these are photos that were taken all the way back in fall 2008. And it's a picture, see the ring light there, Ben with an old apple tree that no longer stands on my dad's orchard, and that's my cousin's barn in the background. Love it. And then look at this. The shirt that I'm wearing from all the way back in 2008 is papaya. Love it. And this is going to be a one-page spread. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to tell you guys what I did. So I'm using the light side of shortbread. And all I did was cut a 1/4 inch strip off one side and then the other. That way it's 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. And I just used a sponge and some Harbor ink and went around and created that inked edge. And then I sort of tore and ruffled up the corner, or not the corner, but a place at the top and at the bottom down here. Okay, now I have Harbor cardstock on order. It hasn't arrived yet, and I know I'm going to need some more Harbor cardstock for like more things that I'm going to be doing. And so what I did is I gutted that out, and I actually used my paper trimmer and lined this up on the inside at 1 inch, came down 1 inch, cut down to 11, rotated my paper counterclockwise until I had the same thing all the way around. And then I mimicked that tear at the top, and I mimicked that tear at the bottom. And probably once the page is actually put together, I will use some pattern paper in behind that, and I may even increase that tear a little. But I wanted to go ahead and get started. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm not going to put a lot of paper runner around the edges, because what I like to do when I gut paper is I like to tape it from the back. And so all I'm doing right now is just trying to line this up, and it's just going to be a really barely there Harbor border all the way around this page. Okay, and when I say I like to tape it, you're going to see what I'm talking about. This is just regular Scotch tape. It doesn't touch the photos, so it doesn't have to be acid free. And all I'm doing is just adding some tape to secure this page down. And if you guys have never tried gutting out your paper before, it's really easy. Just practice, use, and you can gut it out like you can have whatever size border you want. I just know that I'm going to end up needing more Harbor cardstock. Okay, so there's that. And the reason you may be asking, well, if she's using a Harbor cardstock, I just feel like inking that edge just adds a little something to it. You know what I'm saying? It just adds a little something to it. Okay? And so now the next thing I'm going to do is add some shimmer to spatters to my page. And I am using the Harbor ink pad and just pushing some ink over in the lid. And then I'm going to use my water brush. And what I want to do is I want to get my water really wet off the side, because I want these to still be somewhat dark. And let's see how this plays out. And I don't want the shimmer like of a shimmer brush, but I want some Harbor ink spattered down in there. And it's not going to be really dark. It's going to have a watercolor effect, and I hope I like that. And since I do have a little bit of water in that lid, I'm just going to pat it out and then just put the lid right back on top. I'm going to move this off to the side for just a minute. We will have a Harbor shimmer brush. I don't believe it's available just yet. And all I'm going to do with my water brush is just work that until it's clean. And then dry this up off my all-purpose mat. And move the all-purpose mat out of the way. Pull this back in, and I should be good to continue. Okay, so I already have some papers pre-cut so that this process will not take as long. And I am going to just put a run of tape just so that I can use my measurements on my Versamat. If you guys scrapbook and you don't have a mat like the Versamat or some mat similar, you really need one. They're fabulous. So I decided I want to use this pattern paper, and I cut this at 6 1/4. And I'm going to, I just feel that's too busy. As busy as that is, I feel like that's just too busy. So I think I'm going to line this up at 9 inches. Yes, 9 inches. But I'm going to ink up the edges of this paper also. So I'm just going to show you, and then I'll do this off camera. Well, guys, apparently my camera died and I did not know. So you've missed me gluing everything down. I think the last thing that you saw was me spattering on the paper with the Harbor ink. And so what I did is I just used the Harbor ink and just a little quarter piece of sponge, and I inked up the edges of all the paper. And so I have my paper adhered, and I had actually already stuck down my photos also, but I pulled them off when I realized that my camera had quit recording. And so on this one, I want to have tags pulled behind. So all I did on this, and I hope you can see the tape, is I just taped around the outer edge. And I'm just going to stick this one closer over to this side. I'm not really using any measurements. I'm eyeballing this. And then this one is just going to butt up against it. Because I still want to be able to see that paper up there. And then we'll just butt this up against it. Okay, and so I want this tag. This is going to be my journal tag. Okay, and then I cut this tag from Tags and Tabs, and I used this die cut and I use that little tab, and I'll attach that here so it'll have something to pull from. And I think what I'll do is I'll attach it to the back of the card. And I thought about possibly using the tangerine side, but it horribly clashes with that paprika. It looks really good with this, but I feel like it's too close to this shirt, so I'm going to use the shortbread side. And I probably will put like pumpkins on that. And then this one I could get by with because it's not going to be a lot. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Okay, so here goes. And I'm just going to say a little prayer that this works. So I'm going to ombre stamp this title, Grateful. I already have it on a block. And anytime you ombre stamp, you want to start with your lightest color. And I'm going to pull in the papaya and the paprika. And since I'm stamping directly on this page, I hope this looks good. I'm going to start with the papaya first. And this is the first time that I will be inking anything up with this pad. Super excited. Just walking that around. And then because I am stamping on my page, I'm just making sure there's no ink anywhere around the block. And then I am going to come in with my paprika. And I only want to go up so far. Okay, now let's see what happens. Gonna huff on that just a second, and I hope you don't see my head in there. And I think I want my title right in here. Press. And voila, there's my title. Love it. Love it. Okay. And then I'm going to pull that off and attach it right back to my carrier sheet. And then let's go back and look. And then I'm going to use I Am. And let me find a smaller block for that. And I think I want this one to be in papaya. Seasoning that. And it's going to start right there. I Am. Put that back on. And then pull out So Very. Season. So Very. And then it's going to say Grateful. And then I am going to pull in the paprika. And I'm going to find For This Life. I thought about doing For You, but I think I'm going to do For This Life. Season that up. Ink it good. For This Life. Now there's my title stamped on. Isn't that pretty? Love that. Okay, and now before I start the embellishing process, I am going to, I'm not re-inking, I'm not going in any ink, I'm just grabbing what's left of that ink on this sponge and inking up that. And then just to help that stand out, I'm doing the same around this. And this is where my journaling will go. My journaling will fit right there. And then by inking this also, I am giving a definite separation between, and I think I'm going to, let's try this again. Okay, so that'll go there. And then I want that to be decorative. So to decorate that, I feel like I want to use, I really like this pumpkin, and let's see, this pumpkin, and maybe just one of these leaves. I don't know that it needs a lot, but I am going to use my anti-static powder because I want to pop that up with 3D foam. And I am just barely going to just rotate that around just so there's just enough ink coming off of that. And now let me take a look at where this is going to go. About there. And then this is going to be fun. There's my paper piercer. And peel that off. And I think I just want to stick that leaf right there. Oh, I'm liking that. And then, now this is not, and I'll have to check. I don't know that this ribbon is still available, but it's definitely fall. It's a burlap ribbon. I'll just have to check and see if this ribbon is still available. And if it is, I'll leave a link down below. But I definitely feel like that will add what I need to it. And I am going to borrow a trick from a fellow maker. Will match, let's see. Erin Jacobson, who is a fellow maker, she always does this, and I love it. When she puts her ribbon in, she always uses just a bit of twine. And we'll see, this may be too peach. She uses just a bit of twine and she ties it down. And typically she ties a bow. I'm going to tie a knot. But it just adds just a little something. And I'm going to trim most of that off because it is a little more peach than I want it to be. But how cute is that little tag? And then I'll have a place there to write the date. Love that! Okay, so now I am ready to start embellishing. And y'all, the very last thing I want to do is I want to show you how this is just a scratch. I'm not just a scratch, but just a piece. Ooh, that polka dot would be cute too. But I think I like the stripe better. So what I'm going to do is just cut just a section of that and cut it in half. And I'm going to show you how I will attach this. And then ink that up, and the same way here. We're just going to run some tape across that. Add that piece right there. And run some ink across that. Right here, we lost a sequin here. Right there, and other sequin. I think I only had 2 there. Okay, I think that's it. That is it. So hopefully you enjoyed this process page where I showed you how to use this great stamp of the month. Now, if you are a VIP, you can get this for free with your $50 purchase in September. It's a fabulous stamp set. And then I also showed you a couple techniques on this page and this gorgeous pumpkin spice paper collection. Hopefully you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I add new content. And if you would like to have more information about becoming my VIP or purchasing these products, be sure to let me know. Thanks, guys, and happy scrapping.